What's going on, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to play and set up Gravity Warfare. So let's take this up to the top and I'll show you how to set the game up. Then we'll come back over here. I'll show you how to play. So I have a game here set up for 3 players. What you want to do is you want to randomly select a hero for each player. And then they're going to choose their colors. So we have purple, yellow, and green. And in each color, there are 6 pieces, but 3 different types. So if you see here, these look the same. There's 2 of those. These look the same. There's 2 of those. These kind of look like the first ones, but these have more of a star rather than just a dome shape. Then each player gets 5 challenge cards, which is also your hand limit. So you start off with 5, except the Guardian, Commander Ruben. He starts off with 7 because that's his special ability. And I'll get into more details of hero special abilities later on. You want to also give each player a Guardian card, so that does not count against your hand limit of 5 challenge cards. That is a defense card. Then each player starts off with 5 points. The blue are 1 point. Gold are 5 points each. Silver is 3 points each. And then the green gems I will get to a little bit later. Then we have the challenge deck here in the center. The dice. Now, depending on what side you choose, and I'll get to that in just a moment, you want to make sure you choose that correct die. So we'll put these to the side for now. You want to have the chopsticks in reach of all players. And then let's go ahead and assemble this, and I'll show you how to do that. So first you're going to start off with the base. We have these 2 pieces. This goes in here like this, and you just turn it to tighten it a little bit. Then usually this is actually already connected here, but if it's not, it's just a magnet. And you're literally just gonna let it snap onto a place itself. Then you take the board and you want to connect it. Now, whichever side you're going to connect, make sure that this is upwards. So like if you're gonna do it like that, or if you're gonna do it like this. So wherever this is pointing, that side is going to be up. So let's see, we'll put it on this side. Start with this side here. Then you want to, at the bottom here, there's a little knob, and you just want to tighten that. That should fit. And then you will put it, so there's an indentation right here on this. You will take this point right here, and you're going to just place it on here, like that. And then sometimes it can be off-centered, so if it is, so what that will look like is, if the point is all the way like at the front, then it won't look even and it'll be all over the place. So what you want to do is you want to just make sure it's as centered as possible, and that'll give you a good balance on the board. And it sits by itself pretty much. So getting back to the dice, if you remember I said you want to make sure you have the correct dice. So we have this side. We'll put that there. So we have this side that we're going to play on. So what you're not going to need is you're not going to need this die right here. It has it basically has all the planets, the moon, some stars. So you'll set that one aside. We'll set that one aside. And you want to play with this one. Has basically the shapes and a bunch of, it looks like space stations on here. If you want to, that's what they look like. So we make sure we're playing with that die. Fix this again. And then they also give you some blank cards. So what these are for is if you want to make your own heroes or challenge cards. Let's get into how to play. Let me go and explain some different types of the cards we have. Let me go and explain some different types of challenge cards we have. So we have the blue border, we have white border, green border here, then we have the red border here. So the red border is probably the most common type of card there is in the game. It's going to be the challenges that you issue on the active player to complete. Then we have events. These change the game in some way, but you as the issuer perform them. We have the blue border. So if you look right here again on all the cards, the border here is kind of light green, red, Then we have the blue ones here. These are defense cards. So these are in response to an attack. You could throw one of these down. And so we have like, you do it. So they could challenge you. And instead of doing it, it's like, no, you do it. And then we have a wormhole, which you can avoid one challenge during a turn, but must be performed during your next turn. So it basically kind of puts it off to your next turn. Then we have the white border, white and gray, I guess you could say. So right here. And then this is a antimatter. What this is a wild card, and it transforms into any card from the deck except the Guardian. So it's a pretty powerful card. So we'll just put these here. Go ahead and give that another shuffle. Then you want to make sure when playing the game, the challenge cards are actually kept secret from all other players. So we'll just go ahead and hide these. There we go. So on your turn, you're going to take both the dice and you're going to roll them. Now there are two different dice, of course. We have the troop die, which is the type of piece you're going to place. So if you look here, like this right here, that is this right here, right? Okay, so we have the troop, and then we have the where. So where on the board you're going to place it. So if we look at each side, we have the yellow, which is here. Then we have this blue. This blue area is going to be up here. We have this kind of like, looks like an eagle. And so that's going to be over here on this side. See that? Then we have this other blue that looks like the shape of the board. So if you look at that, you see that one right there. Then we have, it looks like an orange. We have that one right there. That's actually going to be this right here. This strip right here. We have the purple, which you can barely see, but that is this up here. And we have the red here, which is the corner or end pieces here. Those are pretty difficult. We have the green. They look like M's or W's, whichever. We have those. So that's going to be right up here. And that is all of the locations on this die. So you take the dice and you roll them. So it's going to be the dome on this blue area here, right? So you're going to take this, just place it there. Now, let's say it's a couple of turns in and you have a few pieces on the board already. And then if you roll a die and your piece does not come up, so it does say dome, we have it, but let's say it did not come up. If you cannot roll a piece that you have available, so if you can't roll a troop die you have available, let's ignore the location die. If you can't roll a troop die that you have available, within 2 chances, you take a skip gem. And play continues. Now every turn thereafter, if you cannot roll a piece that you have, you take another skip gem, or you can ignore the piece and just play any piece on the same location. So after you roll the dice, and you see which troop is going to go where. So right now we have this dome on this yellow area here. So it should do that. But you're going to wait 5 seconds before you play. The reason you're going to do that is because you're going to give everybody a chance to throw challenges at you to prevent you from pretty much putting your piece on there. So you say, hey, does anybody want to challenge me? And they look through they look through their cards. They're like, okay, we'll spin it, right? They add that one. And somebody else is like, well, wait, I want to add something too. Say, bound it. You know, it has to be entirely on the zone, right? And then another player comes along, well, I want to put something on it too. So they say parrot. The player must place 2 pieces like a totem, one on top of the other at the same time, right? So all of these challenges coming at you. So we do this like that. And so far, you're going to have to play that. Also, they can conspire against you and decide what's better for them before locking in their challenges. So like the player who played Bound It, he could say, well, you know, you have Parrot and you have Spin It. So Spin It is, you know, of course, you're going to have to spin it while trying to stack these on there. He's going to say, well, I don't think Bound It is going to be, it's not going to be good enough for y'all, you know. So I'll just take my Bound It, I'll take it back with me. Now, they can only take it back. If they decide not to play a challenge card, they can only take it back. Or they can also say, I don't want to play it this round, I'll wait till the next round. They can't switch it out for a different challenge. They can't say, well, you played Bound-It and you played Parrot. Well, I'm going to go and change mine to something else. They can't do that. They could just take it back. After all challenges have been given and agreed upon, you may now place your pieces. Now remember, when you place your pieces, they have to be at least 50% in the zone. There's no cheating. As the game continues, you will eventually start running out of challenge cards. The way you restock is if you've successfully completed your turn with one or more challenges, you can draw 2 cards, pick one, and then you discard the other. So let's say I pick that one. Or you can also buy cards. So each card costs 1 point each, which are the blue gems. So you would pay 1 point, and then you would do the same. You would grab 2 cards, discard one, and keep the other. So let's discard this one, and we'll keep that one. Now you cannot buy any more cards if you are already at a hand limit of 6 cards. Now you're probably wondering what happens when the pieces fall. And they will fall. Now when that happens, the player whose turn it is going to take back their pieces from this turn only. So if they had previous pieces on there, they're only going to take back the ones from this turn. So let's say it's yellow's turn. They lose 1 point. Any other colors just get placed to the side, and then play continues. Now, if you make 4 or more pieces fall, you're going to lose 2 points. It's going to end the match, and then you're going to score everybody's results based on the number of pieces they have left. So a match can end in one of 2 ways. The first way is what we just saw. You can make 4 or more pieces fall off the board. The second way is you successfully place all your pieces on the board, and you receive 5 points. Everybody else gets 0. Now, in the case of making them all fall off, the point values are as follows. The player who made those 4 pieces fall off loses 2 points. Any player with 1 left gains 5 points. Players with 2 left gain 4 points. Players with 3 left gain 3 points. Players with 4 left gain 2 points. And any player with 5 left gains 1 point. I'm going to go ahead and go over the heroes and their abilities, as well as the challenge cards and what they do. So first we have, you may teleport or move around any piece from the board to any other location on the board. So what that basically means is you can take a piece from one area of the board and move it to any other area of the board. You may ignore any one die rolled at any point during a match. So you could either ignore the troop die or the location die. You may combine any 2 cards and use them as a wild card. So what that means is you could take these 2 here, combine them, and then you can change them into whatever you want, basically, that makes them a wild card. You may take back and reuse any card you have already used except the Guardian card. Keep your discarded cards close to you. So you just want to have your own discard pile with this one, and then, of course, you cannot reuse the Guardian card. And then at the beginning, if you remember, I talked about Commander Ruben. You start the match with 2 additional cards. You don't have a card limit. So that's pretty good there. And we have, you may block or cancel out any one challenge card being issued to you. So that's a pretty good one as well. So basically what that means is if you don't like a challenge or you would rather not do it, you can just say, I'm not going to do this challenge because I'm going to use my power. Then again, each hero's special ability can only be used once per game, and then you would just flip it over saying that you used it. Let's go ahead and get into the challenge, event, and defense cards. So here we have an antimatter. This is pretty much a wild card. This card can transform into any card from the deck except the Guardian. So except the Guardian, which is here. This is a defense card. Allows a player to avoid performing an undesirable drawn card, roll, or any challenges. Play any piece anywhere you want. Only 1 use only. So after you use that, of course, you would just flip it over, and that's 1 use per game. Then we have a wormhole defense. You can avoid 1 challenge during a turn, but must be performed during your next turn. Again, as mentioned earlier, this just pushes it forward to do it another time. We have you do it as a defense. So you play this and you can make somebody else do it. We have copy it. So basically you repeat the previous player's turn, same challenges, same pieces, and same zones. That's copy it. Stack it. Now, be careful with this one because sometimes you can get it confused with double it or pair it. But this one is different. So stack it, you actually have to stack your playing piece onto a piece that's already on the board. Then we have, of course, with chopsticks. We have double it. So basically you're going to complete your turn twice using the same type of piece on the same zone. We have teleport it. So the player must take a played piece from the platform and move it to a different zone. Roll the zone die twice, extraction and destination. No new pieces are added to the board. And then after you complete this, you also get a skip gem. So how you do this is you would roll a die, and then you would take a piece from here, and then you would place it onto there, that location. We have pair it. Again, as earlier, the player must play two pieces like a totem, one on top of the other, at the same time. We have don't look. Now when playing don't look, all other challenges are null. You cannot play don't look along with spin it or anything else. Unless, of course, you want to make it extra difficult, then by all means. We have bound it. The player must place the piece entirely on the zone shown by the die. Now usually it's only 50%, but with this you have to place it entirely on the zone. We have return it. Remove and return the last played piece to its respective player. So this is really good if, of course, if you're trying to get rid of all your pieces, and then you can play this and say, well, you know what? You're actually going to have to take this back. We have this card here. It's an event. Take any piece you like from the platform and give it to any player. Color is not a factor. So basically, you're just giving another player more pieces to get rid of. And finally, we have spin it. The player must spin the platform and play their turn while the platform is in movement. If you enjoy watching this video and you want to see how to play more board games, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. I'll be posting more videos every week. Thanks for watching. The Other Board Gamer.